Pick up the phone, turn it up. Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel.
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, or brothers and sisters in the diaspora and throughout CARICOM and anywhere you're able to hear us because of the technology. Whether you're in Russia, Ukraine, or the Middle East, you could contribute to our program. We never stick to a particular subject matter. So you could feel welcome to introduce any subject matter on our program. We have a debate going on, and we have our debater KJ. And KJ, we would not choose a new topic today. We have 2 topics on the board that you have not touched yet. So you could determine which one you want to deal with. We'll even give you the opportunity to bring in a new topic that you want. You see, we believe in a democratic process. People must speak. You mustn't be afraid to discuss issue. And KJ, you ask for the debate. So you know the rules. We speak about the Grenada Development Bank. The government flaunted the laws of the Grenada Development Bank and raid the bank. And you had to call to justify, take the government side. And again, we speak about the excessive traveling of the government. And you had to call to justify it. So KJ, please do pick up the telephone as early as possible. You have 3 minutes to speak on the topic. Let the debate go on. Our cousin Danley, you could help KJ. You have an opportunity too. You could call and speak on those topics. I know you are quite capable. So call. In the meantime, remember the number to call is 4420175, and we will take on your contribution on the post. We will read it out. You just have to pick up the telephone and call. No preamble. On any subject matter, you could speak on it. We're in the month of October. Yes, caller, welcome.
Would they, Mr. Pierre?
Yes, ma'am. You have the new ball. Use it.
Yes, I really, really love to. I mean, I don't want colors vexing me. I love the new one.
Then go ahead, bowl and get wicket.
First of all, Mr. Pierre, I would like to say I congratulate the new National Party last night for a very good meeting at the Tongue of St. George. For those who was listening online and who was there, Mr. Pierre, it showed a very good sign. As I say again, we must not be complacent, but that more than one person interested in the caretaker for that area. And by such a move, it demonstrates that there is hope.
Which constituency?
In that part.
Which constituency?
The constituency of St. George. Yeah. More than one person interested, and that is a very good thing. Now it's up to the leadership and the executive to do what they think is right. But people interested, I heard from the gossip that a lot of names calling, which nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate names is calling. NDC activists mentioning certain people's name, and so do our own people. This is not bad at all.
I think you're all paying too much attention.
I could share my views. We have a failed leader in this country. We have a blame game government who decide to blame the previous the government in the past. That's what they do. And not facing up to their responsibility. I will always continue to advocate. You know that Deacon activist is saying that part of the reason why Morris Bishop fight this overthrow against Kerry is because they feel they could not win Gary at the poll anymore. This is false. This is propaganda. Because we had some free and fair election under Sir Eric Matthew Gary government. In 1976, the New Jew movement win 6 seats, the Labour Party win 9.
The alliance.
The alliance, yes. And because of that, members is saying today that they could not win Gary. I am not saying that is not true. That is not true because this is why they feel it was necessary. As I say it and I say it again, Bishop was one of the biggest hater against independence. And he used independence to able to overthrow an illegitimate government, because if we was not an independent country, it would have been harder for him to do so. I can understand a man who never knew Bishop personally, who never know of the number of people this man hurt in this country. All now people are hurting and want to make this man a hero. Grenadians, think again. Think again. Our leader is missing the point. I rest my case, Mr.
Thank you, Colin. It was the alliance. In 1976, you had the parties join up together. So it was not the New Jewel movement that ran against God, it was the alliance. Yes, Colin, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing today?
Great, man.
Wonderful. Do you know one philosophy grossly depends on how they see the outlook in life? And what I'm telling you is that the philosophy we've been seeing projected over the years in Grenada, from a political point of view, even social point of view, is one that is so decadent, that deals with so much decadence and backwardness, that we've seen the style of government that's been portrayed by Deacon Mitchell, our innovative, visionary leader, who have thoughts, who is young, who understands what to do, how to articulate himself, how to put plans and programs together for the benefit of Grenada. We've seen his trajectory, where he is going. So you could definitely see he's done an understudy of Grenada, and it's different. And hence the reason why everyone seems to be gravitating towards him. Even the people in the diaspora, Africa, everybody seems to be saying we have a young and vibrant Prime Minister who is intelligent and he has plans for Grenada. The most scholarships we've seen in a short given time, 3 years and 4 months, over 500 and so forth, scholarship in that time period. I mean, that's excellent. We've seen in the creatives, we've seen in the schools what's been done. I mean, what more can you ask for? Of course, there is no perfection in the human domain. But let's be honest, I think you for yourself should give some credibility to our Prime Minister for his leadership, how he's done thus far in terms of how he's controlling his cabinet and how he's doing his work. You should give some credit for that. Don't you think so?
Somebody have to rebut you, so continue the presentation.
Well, again, there's nothing that anybody will rebut me on that will be convincing. Because what I've just said there overrides anything that other person will come with. And again, at the end of the day, you have the microphone in your hands, and you could say, you will chatter, you may rumble, you may cast aspersions, you may articulate in any manner, and try to convince your audience. But what I've said cannot be disputed. You may try to dismantle it, but it's on solid grounds. And you know you cannot dispute what I've just said, because you know it's solid grounds. All what I've said are factual. All what I've said thus far are very and all that I said thus far, history books will record it.
All right, caller, thank you. You have an opportunity to call back after somebody take you on, so that your 2 minutes is up. Yes, caller. So this was our brother KJ, and I open the floor now for somebody to respond to KJ. He has chosen to select a new topic, and I accept that. He did not want to talk about the Grenada Development Bank or the excessive traveling by the government. I accept that. So somebody could rebut KJ. Just tell me you're calling to if you want to speak on it. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
I wasn't particularly going to call and relate or rebut whatever.
You want to respond to him?
Not necessarily, but
Then
what I'm going to say,
forget him and go ahead with what you want.
Yes, what I'm going to say relates to anything that he would have said that makes not big an issue. Because the thing is that it's a continuous trajectory of scholarship that could be placed on the administration before. I wasn't part of it. Big deal about nothing. It's a continuation that is normal. It started off with Maurice Bishop more than any time else. Because the thing is that even Maurice Bishop made the point that before he took power, you had only 3 in 1 year. Now, I know you have said a million and one things good about Matthew Gary, who is my second cousin. And a person I never hate, but I was opposed to him. But Gary meant well only up to a point. Bishop meant well up to a point too. As much as Maurice Bishop could have boasted, the first year of the revolution, at least 150 people went on this scholarship. Free education, university education. But here, it turned out to be an anomaly because the very people who are given scholarship, they become the worst of the capitalists when they were trained. They were supposed to have been trained under communism, where you serve the people. Even the leader of the Maurice Bishop movement tries to talk to a whole lot at one time. End up being the biggest capitalist in the country. They use the scholarship process to make money for their own agenda. They don't care about the society. There's one, my best friend, Dr. Thomas on the Coroners, who people used to call the people's doctor. This man, he and I watch me. He's a player. That man I used to be on phone for, we'll talk for 2 hours on morning time or so. Or any other time. We're on the phone. I pass by him, we're always together. Very good friends. This man has an owner name called the People's Doctor, and that's the purpose for which the scholarship process was used for. You come back and serve your country.
Yes, scholar.
Yes.
Yeah.
That done, Not done and over with. So the people talking about our scholarship being a big thing, careful what that means. And I could call back because I
Yes, you could call back, caller. Thank you. Yeah.
Take care.
Yes, we want somebody to respond to KJ. Yes, caller, welcome.
Okay, good afternoon.
Yes.
I called yesterday and you tell me call back. I was the last caller.
All right, go right ahead.
I was speaking about the revolution and the people killing.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Pierre, I want to continue. I heard you mentioning that Morris always, every day on your program, you say Morris is a criminal. Mr. Pierre, Morris, I wouldn't say he didn't do wrong, Mr. Pierre. But at the time, remember, they had suspended the Constitution and they was ruling by decree. The people are. So there wasn't a court system where they used to bring people to court to judge them. So they sent them to the jail. 3,000 Rasta men, you claim. But Mr. Pierre, during 79 to 83, I knew of the bomb blast in Queen's Park, which was the 19th of June, 81, I think, where they set the bomb, and I don't know the reason they did that. I was young at the time. But after that bomb exploded, they went to Mount Airy from that guy from Shantimel, Strand Phillip, and they shoot him up for the bombing.
Summary execution.
Right. Also, you remember in Plains, right here in Plains, St. Patrick's?
Summary execution.
Where they shoot up 4 men in a car?
Summary execution.
And they was blaming Bishop, but Bishop had no idea what was going on at the time.
Who was responsible, caller?
There was militia, there was Pierre.
Caller, did he investigate it?
They did.
Did Lawrence Bishop have an investigation into these executions?
They set up a committee and did an independent research into
Caller, come on, caller. They wanting, what they do, they wanting maltreat and kill people there.
They went and shoot Duck, poor Duck. Duck and them had no idea about this thing.
And you say he's not a criminal?
Huh?
You know about the incidents where they walk on the back of some women?
No, I don't know that.
You know about the castration of Boko?
That's the guy.
You know about the execution of Scottilda in Brudggrove?
Right.
You don't know about these things?
I knew of them. So, Mr. Pierre.
You know about the pouring out of the toenail of the individuals, some of them are ex-policemen?
Okay. So, Mr.
Bishop was a criminal.
Right, so let's move on. Mr. Pierre, do you know that during the role of the PRG, Grenada achieved progress in many areas, including but not limited to West women rights, education. Let me finish.
Be careful what you say. Remember in Tonglang.
Let me finish. Then you will come in. Women rights, housing, health, and economy. By the end of the Gary regime, listen up. By the end of the Gary regime, the economy was experiencing negative growth. Per capita income was falling when PRG came to power. However, this quickly changed and the economy began to experience modest growth. Listen, Mr. Pierre now. Mr. Pierre, the World Bank noted that it had been one of the very few countries in the Western Hemisphere that continued to experience per capita growth in 1981. Listen, economists saying that according to Payne, Sutton, and Thorndike, GDP per capita almost doubled from 1978 to 1983. Income tax was also abolished for 30% of the lowest paid workers. Unemployment was also sharply reduced from 49% in 1979 to 14% in 1983, at a time when most other countries in the region had an unemployment rate of 20 to 30%. The number of doctors also increased from 1 per 4,000 in 1979, Mr. Pierre, to 1 per 3,000 in 1982. The infant mortality rate was reduced from 29 to 14.8%. And the literacy rate increased from 85 in 1978 to 90 in 1981. Mr. Pierre, all these things happened. The poor doctors and nurses and dentists that went to Cuba, the economists like Canwell, all these guys went to Cuba, Dr. Thomas.
And Colin came back in 1983?
I don't know what time they came
Well,
up.
Color, you have to, when you're making these statements, you have to listen to yourself. Because if you're saying these things, because they trained these doctors, they were able to come back and the doctor to patient to public ratio improve. When that happened? In addition to that, Color, the statement I made that Morris Bishop was a criminal, you have not said nothing there to dispute it.
Well, tell me, in what way?
Are you saying that the end justify the means?
Mr. Pierre.
Answer the question I ask you.
Mr. Pierre, I have no facts.
I have said Morris Bishop is a criminal. You're behind women and children.
I wouldn't side with you.
And he was a god.
That's your opinion. That's just your opinion. Remember, Mr. Pierre, remember, who was behind Bishop at the time when he was running? School children, you know. The masses, you know. Everyone was after Bishop, was like came by Bishop, you know. You know that? What Bishop should do, he should call an election after he had the revolution. He should call an election, and then you'd win.
All right, thank you, Colin.
Have a nice day, sir.
Yes, and remember, we're waiting for somebody to respond to KJ. KJ made his statements, and I would prefer somebody to respond to him. He don't want to speak about the Grenada Development Bank. That's a big topic that need to be justified. He don't want to speak about the excessive traveling of government. So he made some, general comments. Danley from Ticolo, come and help KJ. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Scholar.
How you want somebody to debate this man thing about Carlin and say debate KJ? KJ say anything for you to debate him?
Well, whatever he said,
he don't say
that is what he don't say nothing. Somebody call and say that now.
Mr. Pierre, listen to me. Scholarship, if as you say, sensing Bishop, there's Gary, there's scholarship going on. In government continue, every government what come, continue with scholarship. But this is the worst scholarship you ever find in this Grenada now. It is not a good one. Everybody cannot maintain the scholarship. Everybody cannot commit. They don't have the commitment. I don't debating with this guy. He don't say nothing to me.
All right, so okay, well, let somebody debating. He wants a debate.
He don't say nothing.
Well, I could deal with him after, but he wants a debate.
After you go deal with
and if we give him the opportunity
I listening to what's going on in this little Grenada here, and I don't hear him. No, but that is what I want to hear. You know.
What you want to hear people talk about?
What I want to hear with this thing with the airport and what.
They should raise that point and leave KJ.
What?
They should forget KJ and make that point. Ask question about that.
That is what I want to hear, so I don't want to hear to say debate KJ.
Okay, so let me respond to you as far as I know.
Hear you come up with what you hear.
Then let me respond to you.
What is going on?
Then I will respond to you as far as I know.
All right, okay, later.
It appears that the United States of America made a request to the Grenada government to put some radar, some base or whatever on the airport. And this request was made months ago. The government of Grenada kept it very quiet. Yes, Scholar, welcome. Yes, Scholar, welcome. Don't listen to your device in the back. Otherwise, yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. Right.
Yes, man. Are you responding to KJ?
No, I didn't respond to KJ.
All right, so let's go ahead. Forget him.
Mr. Pierre, we boasting about a prime minister that is young, dynamic, and all kind of nonsense. Mr. Pierre, how old was Dr. Mitchell when he entered politics? Do you remember?
Yeah. Dr. Mitchell entered politics at 24. Eric Gary at 26, 27. Morris Bishop died at 39. This gentleman is Winston White, was one of the youngest ministers of sports and culture, I think, in the Caribbean.
Okay, there you go, Mr. Pierre.
So we have already had some very young. Deacon is an old man, 40-something years, you know, young again. Your testosterone levels start to drop after 40.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Pierre. in the history of Grenada, you ever hear any political party leader is celebrated for being the party leader? Having a celebration for being a party leader?
Well, if you don't achieve nothing else, you must give them a blind.
Mr. Pierre, you have a prime minister that traveled 480 days in 3 years and 2 months. Do the
Well,
math.
there is more days
Yes,
than.
you're talking about
No. How you could travel 480 in 2 years?
480 days. That is a year and approximately 3 months going.
In 2 years.
You understand?
And he spent it. And he
Let me
spent
tell you
12
something.
million on traveling.
Mr. Pierre, you're talking about cabinet members? Your cabinet members getting away with all kind of problems. They cussing police. They go in GDP bank, take loan. They take it in ministries and put it in other ministries. One say you don't care what visa, they take it from him. You're talking about stability? Yeah? Or they bring a gun amnesty. People still getting shoot. Guns still being found in Grenada. Yeah? Come on. What get I want to know? Mr. Pierre, the ministerial complex where the Prime Minister sit down, who built it? The Ministry of Education where the Minister of Education sit down, who built it? The polyclinic in Guelph, who built it? The bus terminal, who built it? Guelph Fisher Market, who built it? You want to continue going on? Come on, KJ, come back. Mr. Pierre, have a good afternoon.
Yes, Colin. You see, that's why I asked you if you wanted to respond to KJ, and you said no. Yes, Colin, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Doc.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you something. So if I say, who provide the money to build those things, what would someone say? With all this boasting of who did what when, where the money come from? The money come from us. That's our money. And if these things is identified to be done, it has to be done. You don't boast of it. No one should be boasting of this. It belongs to the citizens. If you go there to do something to make things better for us. Whatever you've done, that's what you had to do. So don't even talk about it. This is the problem we have. Where we privatize this place, and every time somebody do something, that's what they do. Okay, that's private. Another one go down and say, okay, that's what I did, that's private. So you could go back and say what you did. No. These things should just go by. What you did, you build roads, whatever it is, that is what you have to do. All the scholarship we did over the years, since the demise of Gary, right? Let's put it that way. Where have we gone? People are in the same deep economic position that we decayed socially. Yes, everybody did something. We can't dispute that. But where are we now with the citizen? What is the status of the citizen? We are going through serious economic times. Should we be going through that? If we had the right people over the years, would we be in this situation if they did what they were supposed to do? Would we be in this situation? Yes, a lot of development has taken place, but the economic development of the citizens was neglected. We are no better off than the early years because costs determine where we will be, where we are. Salary go up, costs cover it. Salary go up, costs cover it. You have no time to save. So there are certain things you cannot do, you couldn't do, and now you still can't do it because you doesn't have the finances. So have we gone forward, despite the fact we have so much scholarship and so much bright people ruling this country? No, we have not gone forward. So what I would say here, sir, the world is filled of money. We're making money a problem. The early years of the like what you say, Hitler and these guys, they were fighting the countries. They fought. But they have succeeded in creating an industrial base for us now. What are we doing with it? We are building bombs and bullets, guns, and taking the very tax money that we pay that should come back to us to kill us. Yeah? Those are the things we have to be concerned about. And when our people get involved in that kind of rhetoric and argue with one another, we only compound the situation for us going forward. Yeah? So sometimes we have to let go of this thing. Many of these leaders today, they are not qualified to be leaders. They are damaging everything. So what we as citizens have to do, step back. If we step back, we get rid of the colors, this deep psychology they have there practicing us, we get away from the structure, the party supposed structure where everybody know how much they have today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Everybody know that. So I know I have 10,000, you have 10,000. We shouldn't know that at all. We vote in by... So I should know who you support, you should know how you support. Until the outcome. We don't talk. So we creating the problem, blaming the politician for all the problems. So we have to step back and do our thing, unite, work for each other development, take each other forward, and see what the politician will do. They will change their ways and attitude.
Yeah.
But we're buying straight into the psychology, the rhetoric, and we're blaming them for it. We have to take some blame too because we lost our senses. We have to change. If we want the politician to change, we ourselves have to change, and we have to change radically, and don't argue for the politician.
Okay.
Don't fight for the politician. Have a good day, sir.
Yes, just 1 or 2 pointers. The only thing that qualifies somebody to run this country is if they could convince people to vote for them. That's the only qualification. Once you are nominated, you have to convince people to vote for them. Whether you tell them the truth, whether you are a great orator, whether you are a likable person, that's it. And it is why it is necessary, why you find particularly NNP supporters listing what was done, is because Deacon was not reprimanded when he said nothing was not achieved post-1983. He was not reprimanded. So it puts pressure on the NNP to take on that statement. Yes, Scholar Walker.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, man.
Yeah, it's a long time. I always listen. I never miss no program.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Like, it seems like KJ...
You want to debate KJ? You want to respond to KJ?
No, I say you shall repeat the question because he played... He
did not want to deal with the questions that are offering.
The chance of offer days in that.
So I offer him another choice. So I offered him another choice. He could call and speak on what issue he wanted.
You see that you always say that they can't convince me. They convince me. You already put up that on the board for days. Now telling that we can pass the other opportunity to go and do some research and whatever. He come back to the same. But concerning the other propaganda going on about some America to put on some radar in the airport to attack Venezuela. This is propaganda. America don't need to put on radar to attack Venezuela. America goes in America and bomb Venezuela. People don't they don't know that. America goes to quite in and bomb Russia from where Russia is there. So for the radar to go and bomb them, that is nonsense. But sensible people in Korea pushing this kind of narrative. People almost saying that man, America goes to America and bomb Venezuela. So this kind of this is propaganda. I don't believe that. I don't believe our radar to bomb Venezuela. America could do it from America. They could stay in America. That is modern tech here, you know. Air to surface missile, you know. People must stop propaganda. It's the propaganda they're pushing here. Take care, Mr. Pierre.
Yes. Well, a number of people have taken a little bite on KJ, and I'm slightly disappointed because he did not want to speak on the Grenada Development Bank, and he did not want to speak on the excessive traveling. So he kind of went back and encouraging me to... yes, Scholar, welcome.
Good day, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Contextually. That's why you see, when I'm speaking, I speak with clarity. I spoke contextually in the context of 3 years and 4 months. The amount of scholarship that was given out.
So, KJ, let me ask you a question. KJ.
For that given period of time. So, call and talk about polyclinic and so on, they're out of context to the statement I made. And that's the problem. They have to be in context. When we're having a discussion, when people listen, when people talk in the context in which they say what they say. Because if you talk about poly this and poly that, 20-something years in office, you had enough time to do much more than that.
KJ.
That's why I spoke in context.
KJ.
You understand what I'm saying?
KJ.
Yeah? You get what I'm saying, right? You understand what I'm saying?
KJ.
Contextually?
KJ.
Yes, sir.
You're using some word that baffles me. Contextually.
I'm baffled that you're saying I'm baffled you.
KJ.
Because you know what I'm saying is correct.
KJ. We have this debate, and you give KJ.
It will never be effective.
KJ.
You need to come in the station
KJ.
face to face.
KJ, you head hard like a rock. If I don't teach you, I'm flogging you. You must listen
No,
to
you will not be able to flog me because you cannot teach me. I'm the one to teach you.
Okay, I prefer to learn from you.
No.
To just listen to you.
No. Because I'm the one to teach you. I have more radio experience than you.
All right, thank you, my brother. I see the gentleman asked for a debate. We modify the program to accommodate him. He didn't say we suggest a format. We advertise the format. We say the first day of the debate, you're going to speak about the government achievements. What the government achieved. You said you wanted to give 6, we asked you to give 3, you beat around the bush. You run from the second day of the debate where we want you to justify the government action in raiding the Grenada Development Bank. A number of people is complaining that the traveling of the government is excessive. Even Chester Humphrey seems to be annoyed now. We ask you to defend that. You coming back for me to approve Deacon. I consider Deacon as a fake, as a vulture, poor people terrorist. No, Deacon who did massaging man hand. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
yes,
enough
caller.
of KJ just
and the voice and the voice is a good interruption. Thank you very much.
Mr. Pierre, we love your show. We're happy to listen to you every day, but please do not let KJ hijack your show.
Yeah, thank you.
KJ calls every radio station every day to say how great the Prime Minister is. If the Prime Minister was that great, he would not have to be doing this. That's all I'm going to say. There's no debate, there's nothing. Stop letting him take over our show. Thank you.
And I hope Danley helps him. Because if I want to promote some positives at Deacon, I could. But Deacon's negative far outweigh any positive that he has. He's an embarrassment to the Caribbean now. He becoming a laughing stock in Africa. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon to you.
Yes, my brother.
Now, Mr. Pierre, I gone past the GDP.
How you could go past the GDP?
Yes. No, the reason why, because it's a point I want to make here with KG. So let us go past the GDP. I want KJ to put it into proper context for us. I want him to contextualize what I'm about to say here. The only reason why the other side is getting is because we don't know the real NDC. I want KJ to explain that statement, put it into context for us, whereby it does not mean what it said. You understand? The other one is this.
Thank you.
When a minister of government has been accused by a podcaster of taking a bribe, detail the bribe. Who gives the bribe? The gentleman that gave the bribe come back and get a big contract with government. The podcaster said, sue me. The podcaster said, take me to court. KJ, as a public servant, you don't find that minister had a responsibility to protect his character? If the answer is no, my brother, put it into context for us. Now, Mr. Pierre, the National Heroes plaque will read Maurice Bishop. And for For those who don't like to see his name there, I'm assuming that they would not go to the party. You say Maurice Bishop was a common criminal. I'm not disputing that statement, what you say in the Mr. Pierre. But listen, Netanyahu is a modern day Hitler. 70,000 Palestinians dead. You are like it. Donald Trump is a mentally retarded man in America. You are like it. The Pope is one of the biggest fake in the history of mankind. Millions of people, them all you like him. Why shouldn't we love Brother Maurice Bishop? Because we know what he did for us. Things wasn't perfect, but I always go back to Mr. Tillman Thomas, who had opposed the process. He went to prison. He come out of prison and he become the prime minister. And instead of making himself a hero, he end up at zero. Have a pleasant day, sir.
And Colin, you have always heard me say, people like Maurice Bishop. I've always said that. I've always said Maurice Bishop was a great orator. I've always said that some of the subject matter he spoke on was topical and people gravitated towards him. I've always said that. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, this government and this government is the only government ever passing together with two Ministry of Finance. Cornwall, the Minister of Finance, and MIT, a Ministry of Finance. Because you have people doing contract and getting paid under the Ministry of MIT.
But that doesn't mean it's two Ministry of
Any
Finance.
money that to be paid is from the Ministry of Finance.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's two Ministry of
Finance. Contractors doing work and they go down in Ministry MIT office and they getting money. Right? So this is corruption. And you have a prime minister who gives his blessing to corruption. Blessing to corruption. When he report corruption that is taking place with his friends and them, and they report that to him, you are the whistleblower, you lost your job. You lost your job because he corrupt and he corrupted anyone that get employed under his government. If they have some integrity and moral standing, he changing that because he cannot be honest. That will be very dishonest. You have one who always call in and talking about the achievement of this administration.
You say you don't want to debate the color. Leave it alone.
The achievement that government did is among the lies this prime minister told for the 3 and some months he did in governance. Among the travel, he traveling. The amount of corruption and deceitfulness that is taking place. And we have a prime minister make a statement and say that the only reason why NMP get in because the NDC don't know who is the real NMP.
Yes, scholar, thank you.
What kind of prime minister is that? When you are a prime minister, you are the prime minister for everyone. And when you have a prime minister saying that is mean that's the policy of the government.
Yeah.
That's the policy of them. Searching within policy of the fellow who is green, no matter if you might doing the work properly, once they recognize you are a green person, they get rid of him. And I remember
thank you, Colonel.
Of his cabinet, he said, once you're doing a work, you are safe. So he is the leader and the prime minister of the country. He said something, but in his doing is totally the opposite.
Thank you, Colonel.
The opposite.
Yes.
And it comes greater. We have to make sure the NDC get out there because they are not for you. They are
Color,
not
thank you.
purpose.
Time up.
Because he said that they are serving with distinction.
Color, you time up.
Okay, time.
Color, you disappoint me. You know. I thought you would have been ready to debate KG because you're on the radio a lot and you always make the point. So if he make a statement and you don't ready to debate him, leave the statement alone and make your others. because you're still going to debate him, and it don't make no sense. If you want to debate him, debate him. Otherwise, let us go on with the other program. You know, the number to call is 4420175. You see, we have a... Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes,
good
caller.
afternoon. Good afternoon. You're talking about the Grenada Development Bank, Mr. Pierre. The NMP is the worst government.
Caller, stop. Stop all that, caller. Caller, stop. The Grenada Development Bank is going to be one of the issues that they can afraid to go to the public with. Because,
all right.
caller, listen to me. Caller, listen.
You talking about the man borrow money from the bank and he pays it back. Mr. Pierre, this NMP government, they thief over $60 million from the Ghanaian people. Keep me and the borrower. They thief it.
You see, this is what is sad in this country. You cannot have a government that blatantly flaunt the laws of the Grenada Development Bank and use the money in the bank for ministers and directors. Grenada cannot encourage that. One would say that Deacon Mitchell is he was a political neophyte. He knew to politics. One could say that he did not know the regulation. But Dennis Cornwall, Lennox Andrew, Gloria Thomas, the Minister of Education, they were public officers. Richard Duncan, you cannot support that. We pointed out long. Once the government get away with the Grenada Development Bank, they would corrupt every institution in the country. The National Lottery, NASA, Gravel and Concrete, the Public Service Commission. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, you're not on, you're the try back. You seem that I listen to the radio. The government corrupted every institution in the country. Now, how all these lone Grenadians who used to be speaking about accountability, transparency, and good governance remain there? I am asking Richard Duncan in particular, because as far as I'm concerned, Richard is a don, he's a hefe. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hi, yeah.
Caller, welcome. All right, the caller lost it. In particular, I'm so disappointed in people like Richard Duncan. The government of the previous government went and used Richard Duncan as the individual to monitor and report on the economic discipline of NNP. And when I saw that, I said, well, we're on the right track, because we must not fret discussion. If I disagree with you, you mustn't afraid to ask me why. Now, the political activists, the politicos of the NDC, all they're doing is to go after you personally, rather than defending the corruption of the government. Yes, caller, welcome. And I observe even the NNP is not attacking corruption. Yes, I understand that Deacon said you have achieved nothing since 1983. But I believe the biggest blunder of this government is corruption. I consider Deacon Mitchell and his group as a band of thieves. How in 2025 so much sacrifice have been made to get it right? And I saw previous governments genuinely trying to get it right. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, welcome. That caller is struggling with the call. So I saw previous government trying to get it right. When the previous government legislate discipline, I applauded them. When Kit Mitchell and Gregory Boyd went in the enemy camp and used Richard Duncan to monitor frack, I applaud them. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Go right ahead.
In response to the issue of whether government ministers and such like should get loan from the GDP, which amount to, as far as I understand it so far, even over $2 million to bail out ministers' bankruptcy. The Prime Minister, in response to the question as to why money was given to these people, and it is good if you could get Mr. What is his name? The fired minister from the previous government, or this government, sorry. What is his name again? I just forgot his name.
Just say the fired minister, let's go on.
The fired minister, if he was fired because of corruption that he recognized going on. But in response to the issue of how comes this guy's got money from the GDP bank, what does the Prime Minister respond? They are Grenadian citizens too. Voting. That's what we end up with. And when you have guys trying to defend this kind of thing, they have no response to the fact that corruption is to the highest yield. When you have corruption to that level, that the Prime Minister justifying, you have another kind of corruption that's up as much as the speaker got their money. The disrespect that the Prime Minister showed for the court, the High Court, and the Friday before the Prime Minister was showing the other ministers and them in Queen's Park. A ruling was handed down relative to the money that the teachers were suing the government for. That said, the judge concluded that they were not supposed to get the money. From the 2 days after, Friday, Sunday, because that was done Sunday evening, the Prime Minister announced that he's going to give the teachers money. Yeah. Excuse me, in this country? I'm sorry. And I think that makes sense. And I could go on with the stick of a pen, with a whole lot of other things that the guy doesn't have a clue about administrative responsibilities about. His arrogance is what determines the likeness of the people who do defend his God. That guy don't belong to like him. I don't hate him, and I don't hate people. If it comes to principle, morality is an individual thing. Morality is defined by how I see it and how I feel. And that's the kind of mentality we're dealing with as a person who's a prime minister of a country, a leader of a country. Look, people get real now. Get real now.
Thank you, Colin. Yeah, yes, Scholar, we got to get real. When the government, that was the last Scholar for the day. When the government flaunted the laws of the Grenada Development Bank and raided the bank and gave millions of dollars to members of cabinet, directors of the board, and members of the household of NDC, I expected a hue and cry from the trade union. The TUC representative in the house, the farmers representative in the house, the business sector representative in the house, because you could have seen the trend that this government was dismantling economic discipline. We had burial. There was no justification to discontinue payment of our loans and debt because the government received $118 million 14 days after burial. And the damage in St. Patrick's and Kariakou was less than $118 million. The government didn't have to get money for Nawasa. The government did not have to get money for electricity company. And the income, the projected income from the treasury did not drop. In fact, the government collected more money than they projected. Now tell me in God's name how we could come there. We had 3 structural adjustment programs and we made sacrifices. And now we have a band of thieves. These guys not even sophisticated thieves, you know. If the government was sophisticated, they would have gone to Parliament and amend the law of the bank and make it possible for ministers to get money. We would have still criticized it. It would have been immoral, but not illegal. Now, I am amazed that some Grenadians walking around town with jacket and ties, speaking English more than the British, and playing the bright, and they're so dishonest. I'm taken aback at Richard Duncan. Why? I had so much respect for the brother. When you're in the public service, and you have to be a public officer to know, there are some individuals that would correct you. Gloria Penn Banfield, Pamela Steele, Richard Duncan. You have one we used to call her Mama. Mama say, what's wrong with you? You want to pull technicality on me? You there in the service long. Forget the politician. You know what is right. So these individuals commanded respect. So when you see a man like Richard Duncan now, frolicking around with this corrupt team and not advising them, no, you can't go in the bank and do that. And some of the apologies of the NDC, all you can't defend that. This thing not going away, you know. The directors of the board must be blacklisted. And they must never work on a board again. These people are complicit. They encourage the government to thief the money in the bank for the people who are not able to access the commercial bank. That is a crime. The bank was set up in 1973 to provide for people who are not able to access loans from the commercial bank. The farmers, the artisans, the vendors, the low of the low economically. So we have a group of thieves. These people are thieves. How we could support that? Anyway, tomorrow on Saturday, we have a holiday. And the holiday Saturday is Thanksgiving Day. The 25th. And the best place to be is in the Holy Comforter, Parakletos, the Holy Spirit, where we have our harvest. And you have an opportunity to reflect, to interact, to exchange ideas with people. You're going to have gentle music. Music you could listen and enjoy and have a chit-chat. And in harvest, you could get from bramble to timber. And you could have a good. So we want to welcome you. And we highly appreciate your presence and your participation in Paraclete, the Holy Spirit Church Ground, on Saturday, the 25th October. And remember, share our program, like our program, and subscribe to Real FM. Thank you.
Turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to